Zelensky, Nur Druck auf Russland kann Frieden bringen.
Dear Ukrainians, we continue our active negotiation work with partners to have a common position for the sake of reliable peace for Ukraine. Indeed, real peace will be achieved if everyone equally perceives opportunities and threats. Then it will be possible to achieve sustainable peace. There is already a lot of support. This support is in new conditions when the deadline for Russia to cease fire has been announced. We see that the Russians are not paying attention to this. At least for now, they're not paying attention. Today, there was another murder. Today, there were again Russian shellings. More than 100 strike drones were used against us, against Ukraine, on the night before this day. Throughout the day, there were airstrike bombings, intense assaults on the front, and again air raid alerts in our cities, in our communities. I will mention just one of the Russian war crimes for today. In Kherson, a 13-year-old boy was deliberately injured by a drop from a Russian drone. He's receiving assistance, meaning the Russian hunting of civilians in Kherson continues. This is a deliberate destruction of life. The Russian army was not given orders to stop. We are talking with partners for the sake of real steps. There have been more than a dozen conversations with leaders and heads of government. Today, the Prime Minister of Poland, the President of Finland, the President of Latvia, the Prime Minister of the Czech Republic, I just spoke with the President of South Africa, and the coming days will also be dedicated to diplomacy. Security advisors spoke yesterday, and today they continue their work. Andriy Yermak coordinates the leaders' advisors. The Minister of Foreign Affairs is working with colleagues in Europe. We are in constant communication with the American side, and on our part, our partners are talking to the United States of America. Everyone is united by the awareness that there is a possibility of achieving at least a ceasefire, and it all depends on the right pressure on Russia. It is there that the decision must be made that this war, which they started, they must also end. Russia does not take into account the loss of life. They block all information about their losses, but they cannot block objective reality. What the Russian economy is experiencing, how Russian enterprises are shutting down, how Russian logistics are suffering losses. Sanctions can work exactly as we need them to. I want to thank everyone in the world today who is helping us to end the war. Today, I also agreed on several of our new sanction packages. Packages for Ukraine, and appropriate decisions will be made soon. I held a special meeting with officials and the office team regarding our work in the European direction with partners in the European Union and European countries outside the EU. Several fundamental things. I would like to thank the Prime Minister of Poland. I thank the Prime Minister of the Czech Republic, Fiala. I thank Latvia and all the Baltic states, the countries of Northern Europe. I thank everyone in Europe who supports the necessity for the European Union to be strong, to be honest about its commitments. We need to strengthen our joint defense work. Every joint European defense initiative must work at 100%. Everything that helps with common security, common economic growth, and common interests, everything common must work. In particular, integration must work. All processes that make Europe more united. We in Ukraine have done a lot to ensure that, in particular, Moldova is alongside us on the European path. We are helping stabilize Moldova so that Russian interference does not succeed. We are assisting the stable operation of Moldova's energy sector. In due time, we insisted that Moldova deserves to receive candidate status. Our position now is also grounded in fairness, in real merits. Ukraine has done everything to open the first cluster in the negotiations for EU membership. This is recognized by Europe. Therefore, any artificial pauses, any artificial divisions only strike at Europe. Ukraine, together with Moldova, must move forward in the negotiation process. I thank all the leaders and all the countries of the European Union for supporting us in this, for supporting the rules in Europe. And of course, gratitude to the soldiers of Ukraine. Today is the day of the communication troops of the armed forces of Ukraine, the day of our soldiers who make the army an army. Because without communication, it is simply impossible to act effectively. Thank you to all of you who keep our defense forces connected under any circumstances. We are proud of our people. Thank you to all our friends of Ukraine. Glory to Ukraine.